This is the upper section. That's the O2.
Yeah,
Okay.
O2 up in the top, the swage piece to except the 2.25 inch piece to the 2.5 inch expansion. These are all welded on the inside. Everything's 100% back purged, so you see the welding on the inside like you do the outside.
Cool.
It's just full penetration from the welds coming out. They're nice brushed.
Is it heavy?
No, it's not too bad.
It's just like 2 pounds?
Maybe. Yeah, about 2.5 pounds.
You lining them all up here?
Yep, this is the kind of the Q line or the assembly line.
Cool.
So we're starting to run through them. The fixtures are done. Everything is kind of complete. So we're just running them through the welding process and fabricating stuff. So that's what we're doing here. This is our fixture for the catted and then catted lower sections. I just have a couple spacer blocks to add into the standoff here to make sure.
So there's a bunch of different fixtures for stuff.
3 different fixtures. This is a fixture for the upper section. This is a fixture for the lower section, and then we have a completion fixture, which is here, and this kind of sets everything up and confirms our fitment off the original piece that we made, off the prototype piece that you're actually putting.
Oh, okay, and this is supposed to be the
this is
the turbo
so
side
it kind of comes around and goes like that, you know. But this is all just confirmation that everything fits. And it's kind of 100% fit up, you know. You got plus or minus, you know, probably 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 inch of variance between it, because every chassis is going to be a little bit different. Every motor mount is going to be put in every single car a little bit differently. So, but as close as we can make it to fit your car, it's kind of what we try to aim for.
Should be good enough.
It should be good enough for everything else.
So now I guess we'll fit one in, and then we'll know for sure if that's good.
Correct, 100%. Yeah. So we're starting to run the upper sections. There's nothing that can go too wrong with the upper sections. It's just the lower sections because we haven't made a piece that was uncatted yet. So we just want to check our fixture for that fitment. So.
And you do have a catted version completed too?
Right here.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually welding up now.
Is that the only one?
Half hour. Yeah,
okay.
That's the only one. I've started running all the upper sections first. Just because our fixture was complete first for them. So,
Okay.
So we're running those all out. In the next couple days here, we should have all those sections pretty much done. So.
And now that most of the development is actually done, if you, like, 10 more people want them, it'll be a much shorter process, like a month or 2 instead of like the whole however long this took.
3 or 4 months, you know. So
the place that has the flange info, they should be able to cut it pretty quick because they have everything.
Yeah, they have it all drawn up and everything's in CAD already, so all they have to do is run the parts on the machine.
Okay.
Versus designing us, the back and forth process was what took a lot, you know, us confirming the fitment on the 3D printed part and taking it back, making adjustments, going back and forth, back and forth. But now that everything's kind of all set, we should be all good. Now we're going to confirm like the final fitment on the car right now, and I think we should be all set.
All right, cool.
I think there'll be too many hiccups from here on out.
Is this how you guys end up with all this random stuff? Because I assume you'll be keeping these fixtures.
Yeah, correct. That's, see up there.
So, and then you have to like, oh, I remember I made this. Let me go dig through there.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I keep notes on everything, so I'll keep all the fixtures together and all the corresponding parts together. Those are for like Evo upper intercooler pipes, Evo lower intercooler pipes, Evo intakes, GTR intakes, GTR intercooler piping. You know, all that stuff is kind of up there. There's some manifold stuff for Nissan SR20. There's some Evo manifold stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. There's some 2JZ manifolds and stuff up there. So yeah, that's kind of how we end up with that.
This looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's they're really nice parts. You know, everything's super high quality. Everything's 100% stainless steel. There's no raw steel on here to be rusted or anything like that. You can dip these in salt water for the next 10 years and they'll come out looking like they are. So
10 years, whoa.
So like it's not a there's no parts on here that can corrode or anything aside from the hardware that's actually holding it.
Yeah, you can't do anything about those.
Yeah. You can use like even the Inconel stuff. And I wouldn't recommend stainless steel to hold down manifolds because the thermal expansion is different between the stainless steel and the cast steel that's on there.
And
so
plus, what's that thing called when the different metals kind of like just fuse together?
Catalysm.
I mean, there's that problem too.
Yeah, they just the thermal expansion between stainless and the threads in the cast steel cause different expansion rates, and over time it kind of eats away at the threads, and then so when you try to take them out, it just strips all the threads off and breaks bolts inside stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not pretty. I always recommend what it came with. You know, factory hardware is usually what you want to use. Cool. I'm gonna get the buzz of this thing together.
You get poking.
Yeah.
Probably put a filter right here too, where it says outlet.
Put it in between the radiator and the
Yeah, the line.
and the fuel cell.
Yeah. You know what that sounds for? Load though. No, they said the proposition, so I should go with the rush. No, disarm. Not gonna disarm. Alright, well this is good. So where's the filter comes in? We'll put that on. And that's about it. Again, it's done. Neutrality. So you see how it has a little opening in there?
Yeah.
I'll open it up just so we bought pretty much all the small V bands available. So these ones, they have a ring here and they have a ring here. So when they go in, they kind of lock and unlock. Those ones are just flat to each other. So all the pieces that are gonna be, catless, they're gonna have a flat V band.
Okay.
Pieces that are gonna have two sections, they're gonna be like that. That's all it is.
So, why was it done like this then, instead of all of them being the same?
Because they ran out of those. So that's what
Oh.
they did. That's all it is.
Okay. So the people that got both the catless and the catted,
They're just gonna have the interlocking version.
kind.
Yeah.
And
It's the same piece, same material, same everything. Is just we usually use just flat ones because they're just a little easier. This one you have to be a little more precise when you line it up.
Yeah.
Because it has a lip.
But that's pretty easy. You just kind of fit them together and they click into
pretty
place.
much, yeah. But still, like I said, sometimes it seems like it, but when you're actually doing it, sometimes it's a little. You have to.
I'm thinking of it right now. I understand what you're saying because you're wedging yourself in there, and you're pushing it around. Sometimes it's off just enough that you can't pry it without being. I don't know, without going too far where you might break something or hurt yourself or something, to force them together. Once you force them together, it's great. Yeah. They'll stay put. But if you have this flat one, it will shift around and then you just clamp it together with the
clamp. Will center it no matter what. You know what I mean? Because when the clamp's tight, it's true circle. So no matter what it is, the clamp, as long as the clamp has both of them together, the clamp will self-center.
Yeah, because it'll go. Both the centers will go in the groove.
Yeah, and then the clamp will just self-center it no matter what. With that one, you have to be a little more. But like I said, we ordered all of those first. They sent us what they had, and they're like, all right, we gotta have more. Then they're like, all right, we don't have more, but we have the interlocking ones. And I'm like, all right, well, let's go with the interlocking ones. And then we were like, we'll just make sure so they don't mix up. We'll split them for the catted and non-catted, and the ones that are like the double sections, they will just be like that. So also that helps out if there's any more pieces that need to be made, or you say, hey, if somebody that had just one wants the catted section, we'll know that we just have to put a flat part in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like it makes it easier too for us down the line. If somebody ever wants to add a section, we will just know.
So I will have to let you know that it's not a random order. Well, I guess they would.
If you just say, hey, there was a guy with a straight pipe, he wants the catted section, we'll know that the V-band is just gonna have to be flat. You know what I mean? Versus if all the other ones that already have double of them, they're just gonna be interlocking. So that's all it is.